Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to episode number 49 of the CheckX series. One more left to 50. And today, as I say every day, I'm your host Ivan, and the CheckX series is pretty much all about me talking about everything that Elon posts on X the day before. Of every episode. And today we're going to talk about what Elon posted yesterday on Friday, January 16th, 2026. And he posted about 90 times today, and about 41 of those times were on politics. And just to not keep this intro stalling. We're pretty much going to get right into it, talking about Tesla and vehicle safety. Just a couple things to talk about to get this out of the way. To start off the episode, Elon highlighted that the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y received the Best in Class awards from Australia's new car assessment program, ANCAP. Elon noted also that the Model 3 is the safest medium car, and the Model Y is the safest medium SUV. And also, Elon reposted charts showing Tesla topping vehicle safety rankings in Europe, reinforcing his claim that Tesla keeps you safe. And in terms of future optimism, before we move on to SpaceX, Starlink, and other futures, Elon shared a clip expressing optimism about the future. And obviously, moving on to SpaceX and Starlink, to start off in terms of conflict with Ryanair, Elon called the Ryanair CEO an utter idiot and an imbecile after the airline refused to use Starlink. He claimed the CEO's fuel impact calculations regarding the drag were off by a factor of 10. And also, Elon highlighted a story about Starlink. Okay, that Ryanair one was a little bit controversial. Okay, he was wrong, but I guess I don't know why Elon, straight up outraged on him. So, maybe that's just. Maybe I just didn't add enough context in that, but I don't know. Anyway, moving on, Elon highlighted a story about Starlink saving lives by providing connectivity to hikers in areas without network coverage, which is pretty much like the direct-to-cell feature, stuff like that. And also, Elon agreed that using Starlink effectively funds the mission to Mars, and also in response to reports that U.S. data centers will consume 10% of the power grid by 2030, Elon suggested space as a solution. And also, in terms of Star Trek vision, before we move on to OpenAI legal battles, Elon expressed a desire to make a Star Trek and Star Fleet Academy real, moving them from science fiction to reality, which would be pretty cool. And obviously, to talking about the OpenAI legal battle, moving on to start off this segment, Elon is suing OpenAI. For a little background, Elon is suing OpenAI for allegedly abandoning its non-profit origins to become a for-profit machine, and he claimed newly emerged documents show a conspiracy to commit fraud to steal a charity. Again, allegedly, I'd say doing more research into that before obviously jumping to conclusions. But also moving on, Elon referred to personal files from the Greg Brockman as a diary, which allegedly revealed OpenAI leadership's private desire to move away from Elon and pursue a $1 billion valuation while being dishonest about their nonprofit commitment. And in terms of Scam Altman, Elon characterized Sam Altman as being nervous and freaking out as the April trial approaches. And moving on to artificial intelligence in general, talking about XAI and Grock, just a couple updates about this. A couple updates about this. Starting off, Elon touted Grock as the only AI to be up to the second real-time information, and also Elon promoted the new Grock voice agent API for developers and encouraged users to try Grock voice. And also, Elon reposted content showing Grock 420 proposing sharper math formulas and Grock's ability to translate and visualize poetry, which is pretty cool. And also in terms of anti-woke AI, which we've talked about so many times, how Grock is just clean, right? Elon argued with statements that Grock is the least woke AI and suggested that Grock 420 will be based. And in talking about Grockopedia and digital immorality, just a couple things I wanted to add here. To start off this segment, Elon promoted Grockopedia, where users can upload their biographies as to be sent to the moon and Mars. And also, in terms of traffic surge, Elon noted that the site's traffic surged 10,000%, moving toward ending Wikipedia's monopoly, and Elon referred to this as a way for immortality to be yours. And moving on to economic views and national debt, just a couple things to talk about here. So we're pretty much getting into the politics segment of this video. Starting off, Elon explained his philosophy that money is not power, in itself, but a database for the exchange of goods and services is. And also, Elon used a shipwreck thought experiment to argue that $1 trillion is worthless compared to a can of soup in a survival situation. I mean, which isn't wrong. But also, in terms of the Mississippi investment, Elon celebrated a $20 billion investment in Mississippi for a new XAI facility. And also, Elon suggested that much of the $38 trillion in U.S. national debt is actually a result of fraud, specifically pointing to the government-funded programs and Democrat fraud, which he said. And moving on to immigration, voter integrity, and the Insurrection Act. And talking about the ICE raids in Minneapolis, and just talk about quick little base, right? That Minneapolis situation, I mean, it's getting out of control. It is just spiraling out of control, and personally, if I was Trump right now, I would deploy some sort of fucking military over there. Like, excuse me, but I'm sorry. I mean, it's getting terrible over there. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, but, I mean, honestly, if I was Trump right now, if I was the president, I would deploy like National Guard there or some stuff, because I mean it's getting really bad. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos. Depending on if you want to see them or not, I recommend looking at it. Yeah, it's not good. It's just spiraling out of control, which is why I feel like those ICE agents are potentially actually in danger now. Because seeing how that situation is spiraling out of control, I don't know what the holdup is for deploying the National Guard over there. Like a lot of them. Because, I mean, it's really bad. It's really bad, and I don't see it getting any better until ICE is actually done with their stuff there. But sorry, a little bit off topic, but well, not actually off topic, but to add on to this, Elon posted extensively about anti-ICE rioters in Minnesota who allegedly stole weapons and federal documents, and also Elon argued that Democrats have become the pro-criminal party. And in terms of the Insurrection Act, Elon explicitly stated that it is time to invoke the Insurrection Act to restore order in response to the chaos in Minnesota. And also shared claims about 800,000 improperly registered voters in Oregon, and alleged that illegal immigrants are being loaded onto the rolls to influence elections. And moving on to criticism of wokeism and education, starting off in terms of colleges as indoctrination camps, which we have talked about so much times before. Elon described modern colleges and as radical left indoctrination camps that often unshamedly communists. That are often unshamedly communists. And also, Elon shared a personal story about a principal who taught him math using the brutal war stories, lamenting that such men are no longer allowed to teach in public schools, which he believes is bad for boys. And also, Elon responded with an angry emoji to a clip of a Star Trek cadet receiving DEI training, and reposted content calling DEI a scheme to do the opposite of what the word suggests. And moving on to international issues, talking about the United Kingdom mostly here. Before we wrap up the episode, Elon highlighted threats by UK officials to ban X because it allows free speech, arguing that the governments use child safety as a pretext to censor political debate. Especially what's happening with one of the biggest children apps ever right now, which is the Roblox thing. But that's another thing, and I feel like only a certain age group of people would really care about that. So anyway, we're gonna keep going with that. Keep going. In terms of Amelia AI, talking about the Amelia AI video, Elon shared a Grock-generated video featuring a character named Amelia who criticized the UK government for cultural suicide, grooming gangs, and mass immigration. And before we wrap up the episode, last but not least, Elon reacted to news of the record high abortion rates, and low fertility rates, which is 1.48 is the number, by the way, in the UK, saying, wow. And ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up the episode. If you guys made it all the way through the end, as I say every day, if you guys made it all the way to the end, as I say every single day, thank you for watching all the way and hearing what I have to say and hearing what Elon had to say. And this wraps up episode number 49 of the CheckX series, and I hope to see you guys next time.